Hello, everybody. It's Saturday. I was just listening to political news, and I'm thinking about maybe doing some personal towards the end of the show, but actually doing a few political readings today because I was just listening to, let me see what YouTube channel I was listening to. Quick. Um, Hold on. It's a channel called Players Unlimited. Anyways, it's not one I normally listen to, but I'm sure it'll be coming out on other broadcasts before long. What they're reporting is that the Democrats are getting ready to file impeachment charges, not only for things we've heard about before, but for and there's my train of thought because I didn't write it down. I was walking around getting my coffee made for the program, and I moved my old coffee out of the way so I don't pick it up by mistake. Um, Based on illegal acts. I can't think of the terminology. Uh, his criminal acts, part of it from the past that he's been prosecuted on. Those files were recently unsealed, released on the 34 counts. So now that all that transcripts of what happened in court can actually be looked at. The fact that he was intimidating witnesses that were testifying against him. We all saw that. Even during the trials, he was walking out of the courtroom and literally intimidating people. High crimes and misdemeanors, that's what it is. That's one of the charges. It's going to be abuse of presidential powers, both in the attacks of Venezuela and that not. There's a whole tremendous. They had a whole list of things. If I to it, I can't list them all because I wasn't taking notes. But what they're saying is there are a lot of Republicans that have been distancing themselves from them and are actually standing alongside Democrats, putting up backing doing the impeachment now, which means that we only need a few extra votes if they do impeachment to actually impeach him. This is one of the most unprecedented things that will ever happen in our history is the third impeachment of a president. And they feel like this one's going to go through. So they will be filing those papers is what they're announcing. I guess there are currently riots going on at DC, or protests going on at DC, really pushing this matter. I know there was attorneys protesting the Supreme Court in regards to some of the stuff going through the Supreme Court on some of the cases that were going on, but people are out there really pushing for this to happen. So I was sort of curious of going ahead and doing some readings on that. I got a hold of Dean. He was in the process of taking his daughter to school. See if you want to do some political readings with me. Oh, you can't stay long. I just want to say hi, Kelly. Nice to see you. And then later on in the program, we'll do some personal readings. Let me see if I can get a hold of Dean really quick. Let me give him a buzz and see if he wants to jump on and do some political readings with me. He was running last time I talked to him. Sorry, I didn't put my headset on. Are you there? Oh, did you see my message? Yeah, they're starting to file impeachment. You want to watch the broadcast I attached to it? And then if you want, jump on with me and we'll do some politicals today. And then I'll end the show off with doing some 3 card readings for everybody. I'm on right now. So whenever if you want to join in, watch that real quick and then jump in. Have fun. I'll watch for you. Okay. Bye. Okay. Yeah, he's gonna watch the news article real quick because he hadn't heard it yet. So I sent it over to him. So he's gonna jump on in a few minutes. So let him catch up with the news and we'll do that. In the meantime, I hope it's true. And one of the things I've been saying on other people's channels, because I don't usually I follow other people that are reading on Trump, and if you follow the same people I do, you'll see me in the chats, and I put predictions out, especially on like Magistrate Tarot. I love Libby's shows. My guides and her guides are so in alignment. The one thing I notice about people that read, people that are doing political readings and stuff, is we all receive a lot of the same information. The gist of our information is pretty much in line with each other. But I've noticed, out of all the readers out there, each of us gets a little different bits and pieces that other readers don't get. And if you watch several readers reading politics, even though we're talking about the same subject, you'll start seeing that I may add this or that to the story, and somebody else may add another detail to the story. And if you start really listening, you'll start seeing a bigger picture form. It all ends up coming out eventually and can be verified in our readings as it trickles through the news process. Of course, mainstream media is not covering most of it. You have to follow things like Legal AF, Midas Touch, Adam Mockley. I love that kid. Brilliant young man. 23 years old and probably asks harder questions than a lot of seasoned journalists. I think he's an amazing young man. To find your calling at 20 and to be as successful as he is, it's totally amazing. He blows my mind at the questions, the maturity that he has running his program. He was on Legal AF, if you haven't seen him before, and you watch Legal AF. He was on with Papak the other day, I believe yesterday. So if you want to check him out, I would suggest checking him out too. Luke Balsley, Baisley, however his name is. The one guy that's like 6'6", can't think of his name. Nice looking guy too. He's also in his mid-20s. Does wonderful reporting for on YouTube. His initials are JC, but he doesn't go by JC. I can't remember what his name is. But I know he always says, I'm 6. People ask when they see him doing interviews with people, he's towering over them. Yeah, he is very, very tall, very handsome young man. Also in his mid-20s, very, very good at what he does. So those are some of the shows I follow with the politics. I usually tend to stick with Midas Touch, Legal AF. I love Legal AF because, as many of you know, I'm a paralegal. I'm a retired paralegal, but I've worked in law for 30 years. And so I follow a lot. I do a lot of research. When they're pulling out statutes and stuff, I'm looking them up. I'm pulling the Constitution up. I do that. That's my weirdo side. That's part of my geeky side. So yeah, I do a lot of follow up, and I'm reading the actual text of the law and things like that because I've worked in it so long. Like as a paralegal, you learn to differentiate legal jargon and very specific specifically the way the law is written. For the simple thing like you shall versus you may. One is you will. The other one is you could or you might not. You may or may not. The way laws interpret it. There's very key phrases and stuff. The way the statute of law is written in behind the law, and then of course you have to cross-reference precedents. What big cases have been heard in regards to these matters, and a little harder work to do is to pull up precedents of law because you have to be very familiar with a lot of different lawsuits. It's what law school is about. And I work in family law, so family law and political law, constitutional law are a bit different, quite a bit different. Law's law, but they don't cross over. Constitutional law doesn't cross over much into family law. So it's the area of specialties that I work under. And no, don't start asking me family law questions, please, because I am not an attorney and I cannot give and will not give legal advice online. But anyways, that's my geeky interest of law. I also pre-med, so I keep up with a lot of medical research because before I started working law, I was studying to be a geneticist. And I was offered a 4-1 scholarship when my daughter was 4 in Los Angeles, and I actually had no family in Los Angeles, no backup system, no way to accept that scholarship and do 180 hours of med school and lab work and work full time and pay for my daughter and childcare for 18 hours a day. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Nor did I have anybody I could, I couldn't just walk away from my daughter for 8 years of med school. Just not feasible. So I actually had to turn that if I ever have a regret was my inability to go to med school, because that's really what I wanted to do. But I wanted to go into genetic research. That was my field of interest. Where I wanted to work was in research. I didn't want to be a medical doctor per se, as I wanted to work behind the scenes in research and contribute that way. But instead, as you all well know, became the guinea pig, not the one finding the cure, but the one working towards being the guinea pig towards a cure. So that is I always sort of jokingly say my life purpose was to contribute to medical science. I just had no clue that it wasn't as a physician or as a medical team member. It was as a guinea pig. But that's the way, they have different ideas of how we're supposed to fulfill our destiny at times. So I will go through and make a list of everybody in the room. I'm going to give Dean a few minutes to catch up with the news and jump on and do some political readings really quick. You guys haven't seen me do, well, some of you have been with me for a long time. I used to read nothing but politicals and some personals. And I've switched it around. My guides pulled me out of doing political readings. Part of the reason I've stopped doing them is I have multiple family members that work in law also. Things like this. It's sort of genetic. It sort of runs in families. My mom was a contracting officer, which is contract law. She worked for the federal government in contracting. And she was a department head in contracting. My mom's passed away. She's no longer with us anymore. She retired 20-some, it would have been 20 to 25 years ago before she passed away. But so, I was sort of, I grew up in law. We have several attorneys in my family and things like that. And granted, no, I am not a silver spooner. I'm a middle class, maybe a little bit upper middle class. We didn't live in the fancy gated neighborhoods or anything. We lived in regular towns and regular houses. But and I had a regular childhood. But my mother did not pay my way through college. I paid for entirely for my own college. Um, we weren't wealthy enough to get our education paid for by our parents. Both my sister and I have educated ourselves. And my daughter has paid for her own college too, recently, because she was going to college in Santa Barbara with a lot of rich kids who were silver spooners. And she used to get so mad. Why do their parents help them out? I said, probably because they both have six-figure incomes and I don't make that much money. Then she started appreciating the fact that, you know, she's paying for hers and she's actually studying while she's getting her education. And most of the silver spooners were doing more partying than they were studying. And a lot of the silver spooners live very entitled lives, even through college, when they're supposedly on their own with mom and daddy's credit cards. It's an interesting thing. Anyways, first of all, I just want to see what the temperature of the collective is doing. How are we doing as a collective right now? So I'm going to run a double row of 5. I'm going to come out. Okay. So the underlying card of this reading is the High Priestess. This is the collective's connection to our spirituality, our intuition, the divine, our connection with that divine energy, that knowing. It's a great energy to have. We have the 7 of Swords on our side. We are running uphill, charging up, standing up for what we believe in, standing up for our rights, which I do believe. You know, if we got protests in D.C. right now pushing for impeachment papers, and they've already made an announcement, and people are already out there rallying on it. Yeah. I only saw the one article because I've actually been watching movies all day, all morning, because I am on information overload, and I flipped over because I saw something on the headline interested me and told me to click on it. And that's what I was listening right before I came online while I was making my coffee. We also have a tower moment. I don't think this is our tower moment. I think this is the tower moment of the nation that is going to come to a head on this regime. And we have the Queen of Swords. So this is my indicator that this is that queen energy, that motherly energy. This is that nurturing feminine energy that doesn't take shit from anybody, that's not putting up with it. Don't know who's drawing the papers up. I think it's a collective of probably the judicial party in Congress, the Democratic judicial team. And I'm sure it will be well supported within the Senate also. I don't think they would bother pushing impeachment papers if they didn't feel like it was going to be successful, because why go through all the time and energy to have an outcome like we did last time? With Epstein documents, email leaks, the transcripts and of his trials that were sealed having been released and open to the public now on his 34 counts, and running to the Supreme Court and losing all the cases around it, including losing a lot of the immunity that he was counting on. The wars, the acts of war he's taken out on Venezuela, the acts of inhumanity towards immigrants in the United States, and the way he's rounding them up and mistreating not only the adults, but now children too. He's just crossed so many lines all across the board, major abuse of power. And I really hope this is correct broadcasting, and maybe that way we will ask the cards But let's see what the collective's feeling. Let me finish my thing. Those were the underlying cards. We come into this with the Page of Pentacles. This is that page is telling us we're going to be okay financially. Be frugal with our money. We're going to make it through this period of time. We are not going to go totally broke on this. Now, I don't know if this will have some major changes in healthcare costs and things like that. I think those things are going to be forced into discussion on the floor, especially if they're going through impeachment. They're supposed to be readdressing that in December. So let's cross our fingers and hope and pray that Dems make a remarkable shift in those areas, especially if we have Republicans starting to not back Trump's agenda or Trumpism as it is. With midterms coming on, anything could happen at this point in time. There are people that do want to stay in politics. Will they? I don't know. That's up to us voters, My recommendation when it comes to voting is research, research, research. Whoever puts their name in the pool, are they a Republican? Are they a Democrat? If they're a Democrat, have they always been a Democrat? If they just changed parties, what were their voting records on before? Do your research before you just take their word for it. Because just because they changed parties doesn't mean they've changed philosophies necessarily. So that's my opinion. You have to form your own opinion, do your homework. From the Page of Pentacles, we get the Ten of Pentacles, happy family. I do think we are moving in a positive light now. We're finding ways to be frugal with our money. People are getting back to work now, and I think that's part of this. With the government shutdown ending, people getting back to work, they're getting their paychecks now. This reading is for all of the collective. We are relieved that the government is back up and running. Those people are getting reinstated at their jobs. They will get reimbursement for their pay and caught up. They're not going to be losing their homes from 2 to 3 months of this prolonged BS that Mega Mike and Trump have cooked up to try to keep the Epstein files unsealed. The gal from Arizona got put in her seat finally, and the first thing she did was sign that 218th signature on the petition for the Epstein files. I read something in one of the headings. I haven't watched this article yet. Pam Bunny's in hot water for trying to sneak documents out of DOJ. I didn't look into that, so I'm not going to quote anything out of it because I really don't know the facts on that one yet. But, if it's in the headlines, chances are she's trying to hide evidence for Trump. And, it's got to be pretty juicy. Right in the center of the reading, we have the Ten of Wands. That is us wanting to get rid of anything that's not serving us and walking away from it, moving to calmer waters. We're packing the important things with us to take forward, and we're going to cut ties with all the negative things that are about. I think that's where, as a collective, we're ready to move to. I think the Republican Party, with everything coming down on as a bombshell on Trump, is you're going to see that happening. They're going to start dividing big time now. The megas versus the rhinos, I guess, is what Trump would call them. It's followed by the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is us moving into that higher power, that connection with the universe. Again, these are spiritual connections, but rising above conflict. And we have a lot of conflict going on in our government right now, and we're trying to rise above that spiritually, emotionally, and supportively to get change happening. The No Kings is a good example of us rising above what is going on with the regime. We get the Nine of Swords. Yes, we've had a lot of sleepless nights. We're feeling restless about that. We're feeling unsure of the outcome. We've watched 2 impeachment trials fail. Will it fail again? I don't think so. I think there's enough, Even Linda G's reported that for years. You're going to see Republicans jumping ship, jumping ship. It was the first thing I thought of when I heard this announcement. Oh, the Republicans are jumping ship now. The ones that want careers, the ones that are on long term are jumping ship. They're not going to back this man. I think most of them will be junior and sophomore. Republicans that have just recently entered politics, where they've been manipulated by the upper part of the party to stay in party lines. I think those are the ones that are going to be backing. Those are the ones that are more apt to be trusted to change parties too. They're not locked in and dug into the agenda of the president per se. Like I said, do your research, follow the person, listen to what they have to say. Are they true to themselves and representing what they truly believe in, or are they just propaganding you to vote for them because they don't want to lose their seats, but yet they're still believing 100% in whatever MAGA Republican chaos is on their agenda list. As we go into the following week of this energy, we get the Queen of Pentacles. That's that secure queen. She's financially secure. She knows how to manage her money. I think the collective right now is doing a lot of money managing, a lot of consideration of how to get through this period of time with food needs, with high expenses and things like that. Many of us are going to be juggling for a bit. It's not going to get better quickly. It's going to take some time for us to get through all this garbage, to get things balanced out, the budget balanced out, the accountability for funds, all that. I personally, when I hear him dangling a $2,000 check to every American, I don't see that coming. Do not put a lot of hopes, dreams, and wishes on that. Now, there is a bill in Congress that is an actual bill, and Warren was talking about it on it was a written news thing that I caught early this morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning. That was in my newsfeed, an article I read that they do have a proposal out for a $200 a month increase for people that are receiving Social Security benefits, Social Security, SSA, SSI, SSDI benefits, widow benefits, etc., including veterans benefits and disabled benefits, to do a $200 a month increase through July. It hasn't been voted on yet, but that is being proposed, being budgeted in, because we are the groups that were most impacted by COVID without a lot of relief. Plus, our benefit costs have gone up so much compared to our benefit expenses have gone up so much compared to the cost of living and the programs that were given to all other Americans that we didn't get that catch-up gap. We get the child tax credits and things like that that families got. We got the 8% cost of living increase during COVID, but we should have got 11.8% because that's what the number was. The Senate refused to get the Congress and the Senate refused to give us the full amount that they should have given us, and they supposedly were going to make it up to us little by little the following years. They haven't. We got only the COLA they calculated. I don't even believe this COLA is correct. This COLA is based on whatever trumped up numbers Trump published. I don't believe that we've only had a 2.8% increase when my grocery bill alone went up 35%. I don't know what your guys' went up. And I buy basically the same thing every time I go grocery shopping. I'm a vegetarian. My husband eats meat. Buy very little meat, mostly produce, frozen goods, fresh foods. I buy staple things like flour, sugar, beans, rice. Those are main parts of it. We rarely eat out. We might eat out once or twice a month. Everything else I make at home from scratch, completely from scratch. I don't buy any prepackaged foods, just add water and microwave. I don't even have a microwave. My microwave died about 4 years ago and I haven't replaced it. I cook in my convection oven, I do like my convection oven because I make meals for like family of 6 or 8 servings, and then I break it down into 2 portion servings, and I freeze them and wrap them in heavy duty foil, mark them with heating instructions, and then I have quick and easy frozen meals. All I have to do is stick in the convection oven from frozen, like a lasagna, for example, frozen, fully cooked in 30 minutes. It works for me. That way I don't have to cook a big meal every night. I have some easy things, and I cook in bulk 2 or 3 times a week usually. Saves me money, saves me time. And I usually do 2 or 3 different. And if I make spaghetti sauce, out of that spaghetti sauce, I'll make lasagna, stuffed peppers. I may convert some of it to chili, just changing up the seasoning and taking the sauce out before I season it. Usually when I make a pot of spaghetti sauce or tomato sauce, I make a great big giant pot. So stuff like that. It's easy to do once you learn a pattern. I know I should start a cooking channel, right? It's actually not a bad idea. Maybe once I get moved, I can get a secondary kitchen and do that. That would be sort of fun because I really do like to cook. Okay. As we move into this energy, we have the 5 of Cups. This is worry, emotional worry, things like that. We've been under a lot of emotional stress. We need to make sure that we dump what's not serving us and learn from the mistakes we've made in the past. Don't carry them forward. Look at what are the good things we've learned about it and move forward with that positive energy, and don't weigh ourselves down on things that are no longer serving us. That also came out with the Page of Wands. That means we have to take action to move forward in a positive way. So that's the energy. Moving on. We aren't doing this alone now. And the center of the reading for the following week is that 3 of Pentacles. This is us working together with others. This is us working together with our family, our spouse, our community, our churches, our social groups to work through and make things better. If we help each other out in any way we can, we are all going to get through this much better, much stronger, and in better communities. We need to remember, we need to stay together and united, not divided. Don't allow that division to enter your life. If somebody needs help, offer them some help. A little help is better than none. If you need some help, ask for some help. Your neighbors, your friends, your loved ones will help you out. Trust me, we're all in the same boat right now, and it's a matter of give and take. Hello, at Big Scrappy Journey. Yes, I'm going to do reading towards the end because we had some political news, and I don't normally read a lot of political, and just in the mood to do a few political readings. Then I will get to 2 card readings, personal card readings. I'm going to do just 3 card readings, but if you send me a donation, I will make a priority on those for questions. Or you can tell me that you'll come back tomorrow, because tomorrow I will do the regular show at readings and oracle cards and $5 questions, $3 free readings as well. But anyways, as we move in this energy, we get the 4 of Wands. This is us as a collective. We all have strong foundations. We know what we want. We know what we want our country to look like. We know the energy in which our country believes in. The rule of laws, everybody's held equal to the laws. We have a constitution that sets the foundation for our country. We don't want to move off that. We don't want to live under a militaristic regime. We do not want to be ruled by a king or a dictator, all of that. We are fighting. We have that foundation. We've grown up with it. We've studied it. We've ate, drank, and slept it all our lives, and we're not ready for a change yet. But I don't see things are going to start happening really quickly now for change. So trust in the energy that's coming out in the cards. I do see change moving quickly. We're going to start hearing a lot more coming up. One about Epstein, I think, 2. The actual filing of impeachment, I think that's going to be pushed through really quickly. I don't think Johnson's going to have the power or the ability to block that for votes and stuff like that. You know, they'll get a petition for the majority and they will push it through. And if we have Republicans backing Democrats on filing impeachment charges, yeah, he won't be able to block it at all. He's not going to be able to sit on it like McConnell used to sit on things, or like McCarthy would sit on stuff. Yeah, that's not going to happen. So I know Dean's got us on in the background. Dean, are you going to come on and join us? And do a shout out thing because I know he's listening. I haven't seen him chat hi in the room yet, but I know he's listening. Okay. One of the first things I want to ask the card about the political is within the next, before the end of November, will we see impeachment papers filed for sure? So let's ask Spirit that. Will impeachment papers be filed? Do you get a yes on that? Underlying card of the reading is Ten of Cups, the happy family. Cups are also very representative Democrats. We are the emotional party. We're not the Pentacles are usually what you see with the Republican, or at least me in my cards when I'm reading. The cups are usually democratic issues, democratic happiness, emotional. We're more emotional people. We're caring, loving, etc. Okay, first of all, we get the Five of Swords. We have all been worried about where our country is going right now. And I think this is showing up in this. And this is one of the worries. Did he steal the election? We all feel he has. Like I said back when Kamala lost on the announcements, I really honestly cannot believe, out of all the readers I know in our community and on the YouTube channel, and I know a lot of readers I haven't worked with in a long time, but I have a lot of friends in the community. 99.9% of us cannot be that wrong. It is statistically not possible. The majority of readers all got it wrong. That's why I believe it was stolen, because even I saw Kamala with the win. One reader, Sterling, said that he saw Trump taking office. I don't know that he necessarily, I'm going to have to go back to his old videos. I don't think he won it fairly, if I remember right, but that he would be the person taking the office. And he tries to stay neutral when he reads things like that without putting too much fish out there. But everybody else, Kamala won. Readers got hit by our viewers big time. Those who read heavily on it just prior to the election had gotten some of the worst hate mail in my life. So please, if we're wrong, don't send us the hate. We can be wrong. We are not 100% right. But you can't tell me 100% of the readers get it wrong. That's just statistically not, and I'm a math nut. That is statistically not possible. Now, if we were 70-30 or, 80-20 wrong, that statistically works. But 100% all wrong? No. The next card in the reading regarding will they be filing an impeachment paper is there is decisions to make. The Two of Swords. This is which way do we need to go? Do we need to fight this? Do we need to let it go? So they are making these decisions. They're weighing all options right now. And I think they're swaying on at the end of the reading, it's a big yes, they will file. Um, but but yeah, they are weighing all options, making sure that what gets in those impeachment papers is winnable. They have the evidence, the facts, the proof that it's going to support anything they file against him. They're just not going to willy-nilly throw a few, oh, because he's a pedophile. They got to prove he's a pedophile. For example, he's stolen money from the Treasury. They've got to prove it. Misappropriation of funds, they can prove it. He's moved funds illegally. He cannot take funds from one department and transfer them to the other department without consent of Congress. Congress handles the purse. So him moving funds from payroll departments, contracts over to build a Alcatraz or to pay ICE agents without it being allocated funds, it is illegal for him to do that. One of the things I've been throwing out there is he's been collecting supposedly $17 trillion. Where the hell's the money? What's the accountability on it? What does he use it for? You know, he makes some comment, oh, buddy, you know, what shelf? Did you find it in the Treasury? What shelf is it on? Like there's shelves holding $17 million in cash on it. It's not quite what it looks like. And if he's sitting on that much money, why hasn't he, considering he's bringing national debt down and all that, why isn't our national debt down? Why is it keep going up, continuing to go up? The best thing he could do was not invest it someplace, invest it into the national debt, get that down so the U.S. isn't paying all that interest, satisfy those debts, right? It is our taxpayer money. We'd like to see it applied to the debt, not leave all the debt behind. I think he's embezzling it myself, but for entertainment purposes only. And I don't have a little card made it, but for entertainment purposes only. The center of the reading is we're ready to move out of these rocky waters, these rough waters, into calmer shores. So by filing this impeachment, yes, it will be rocky, but we will get through these hearings, get him impeached. Things are going to be a little rocky for a while, but we see an end to the storm and the calming of the waters. The Knight of Cups, that's an emotion like the Democrats taking charge, delivering the impeachment papers. This is yes for me. And it's followed by the Ten of Cups. Yes, yes, yes. These are two yes cards. So yes, they will be filing the impeachment papers. Are you going to join me, Dean? It's an interesting video, wasn't it? You want to join me, Dean? We'll see. He'll pop in if he's going to join us. Anyways, yes, I do think they are going to definitely file impeachment papers. So we are seeing that coming. And that was, the question was by the end of November. So we got a yes on that. By the end of November, we're going to see those filings. And I think they're going to be rather extensive in what's included in those charges. He only has to be completely tied to one. Oh, you need a link. Oh yeah, my bad. Hold on. An invite without an invite. That's not going to work. Get my Facebook open here. It's still on. Here's the link. Hey, Brenda. We're going to do some politicals towards the end, Brenda, but we had some news break right before I came on stating that with all the legal problems and everything coming up, the Democrats, with the backing of numerous Republicans, are going to be filing impeachment papers against the president. So we're going to do a few political readings. I know I have not done political readings forever. Dean's getting ready to join me online. And then we will, when we hit about an hour and 15 minutes or so, we will switch to the 3-card readings for today rather than the $5 questions. And then tomorrow I will do $5 questions and personal readings Sunday. After Brenda, are you going to be on tomorrow? I heard yes. Brenda and Ann will be on tomorrow at 11 o'clock Pacific time, which is 2 o'clock Eastern time. And then I come on at 2 o'clock Pacific time, which is 5 o'clock Eastern time, right after her show. So join us both. We both do personal readings. And if you want free readings from her, she reads as many as she can, depending on how full a room is. If you don't get a personal reading, you don't get a 3-card reading from her, or you want one from both of us, just come join our room. Or if you want paid readings from both of us, that is fine. Dean is in the room. Hi, wasn't that an interesting article?
Yeah, it was an interesting video.
So I did 2 readings on it. One, how the collective feeling, and then will impeachment papers be filed? And I got a big yes by the end of November. So yes on that. So what else should we ask in that?
I have no idea.
About will he be out of office? Will he be impeached by January? The trials, I think they have Jack Smith files and all kinds of stuff. Rare and go. I don't think it's going to be that difficult to gather evidence to impeach him, because they have legal testimony and everything can be used as evidence against him, because one of the charges is going to be can't remember that. I said it a few minutes ago. I hate it when I get brain farts. Okay, it'll come to me. It'll pop in my head in a minute. All I can think of is dereliction of duty, but it's the legal violations. But they're also going after him on the war acts and tariffs and all that kind of stuff.
Well, I don't know per se if he'll be impeached by January, but what I'm getting is the devil in reverse. I feel like there's going to be things are going to be turned upside down. Things are going to be brought to the light. I feel as though that the manipulation and the control will be those chains will be lessened or loosened. I get into the next card I get is the Emperor. So to me, this feels like there's going to be a strong masculine presence that's going to be filing for these charges. There's one lead person that's going to be in charge of bringing all this information forward. It might be a justice. I don't know, but it's going to be somebody that's just as cunning if in one step.
Well, the justice, the Supreme Court, usually John, the head of the Supreme Court, usually sets and oversees the impeachment hearings. They don't rule on it, but they oversee it and make sure that there's a legal legitimacy about how it's being conducted.
Whoever that is, like I said, they're going to be
John
one
Roberts.
ahead of him. There's going to be somebody that Trump doesn't realize that's going to either tell a secret or expose some fraud. There may be, or even expose his health issues.
Turn state evidence, so to speak.
Expose his health, or even expose his dealings with money. And it's going to be somebody, it may be one of his children, I would say, or somebody very young to him.
Inner circle.
Yeah, because it just feels like this person is just as catty in a way to cover their ass and their assets. I will say, whoever this person is, it's to save themselves or the people around them that they feel are more important than him. But either they're going to expose his health, or they're going to expose his funding, his bank accounts. Because I got the Page of Pentacles. I feel like he's not going to have. Well, he doesn't already. He's not running anything. So everybody else is running the government for him. So this is no surprise. The Eight of Pentacles here is in reverse. And it could also mean, as well as that it's at a state of loss. There's no good coming out of the from the government right now, potentially. But there's a change coming about with the Tower moment. So I feel as though there's going to be something that's going to cause this uproar. I don't know. It's almost like this Tower moment is like, I feel like it's like an ending card for him. Let's see. I feel as though it's going to be do I dare say a broken heart? He's going to go down with a broken heart, or ego's going to be.
Did you get the Three of Swords?
No, I got the Ace of Cups in reverse, so I'm feeling like it's a broken heart, or dying, or his ego is going to be lessened. But this could also mean too that these people that he holds in high regard may leave him or want nothing to do with him, which is the Knight and the Queen of Cups here. This could be his wife and his son. I don't know.
Or his cabinet members, or
I don't know. They have some significant weight to them, but I don't know. But everything I said is for entertainment purposes only. I don't know.
This whole first half of our show is totally for entertainment purposes only. We're speculating and also voicing the opinions of the cards as we interpret them coming out. Of course, the question we have is this impeachment process be over by January 1st. Timing is not something cards are very good at, but we can get the temperature of how this is moving along during that period of time. I have that the impeachment's going to move very quickly, very swiftly. So yes, they could possibly. I mean, the impeachment process isn't, 2 days in hearing and boom, it's over. It takes a while for this to go on. This could be several months in the process, but it's going to move very quickly. They have a lot of the evidence accumulated over, since, because they're going to include charges that occurred from his first presidency while he was out of office and as he came back into office, because it all relates to conducting himself as a president at the current time. So crimes they've done, high crimes and misdemeanors are on the record through criminal charges, and those can be reason not to be able to maintain his, with all those convictions and everything. That is a reason for impeachment, alongside other crimes that he's committed while in office. So things are going to be moving very, very quickly. Everybody's worried about how this is going to be handled because of the last impeachment process. So we got a lot of sleepless nights, not only for the people, but also for the president and his cabinet members and his supporters that are still going to back him no matter what. And yes, he will have a small group of backers regardless. But I think the Republican Party is starting to rip and divide now. And I heard a big yes from my guys. Yes, they are ripping, they are dividing. Some people will stand to him to the death. They'll probably fall with him too. And some will go against him. They're ready for him to be out of office. They're tired of all the BS, all the conflict. They can't talk to their constituents. They know they're going to lose their seats if they're up for re-election, etc. The center of the reading, I get there's a lack of charity. His ability to grift for this impeachment process, he is not going to be able to spin this into a grift to collect money and get people to pay for his counsel, pay for this, pay for that. The things Trump is so well known for doing, he's got a lack of charity coming his way in this process. This card came upside down, and I do not read upside down, but they're coming upside down in this. And no, majority of my cards, there's a couple of upside down ones, but the majority of my deck is right side up. So a few have gotten mixed up, but not all of them. The other reverse card I get is that Four of Swords. This is telling me he doesn't have the fight in him to beat this. It's reversed. It's a foundation card. He doesn't have a strong foundation to hold up his case and win this. His foundation's weak. He cannot support all the lies, all the deception, all the evidence against him is, like the criminal charges and things like that he's already been convicted of. He can't spin that. He can't reverse it. Those foundations are already broken for high crimes and misdemeanors. It's already been adjudicated in the courts, so he cannot deny that those aren't there. And he's got 34 counts of criminal charges already against him that are considered high crimes and misdemeanors, on top of other charges regarding his behavior in office. So he's going to have a hard time spinning this. It's going to be interesting to see what law firms and what legal counsel he gets, because all those prior legal counsels work for the DOJ now. And they will not be his counsel during an impeachment trial. They'll probably be some of the ones that are also included in impeachment processes or under review for their conduct. Because I know DOJ is being highly questioned right now, and so is many people in his FBI. The final card in this reading I get is the Queen of Swords. I think that's that feminine power that's been highly represented as women will take him down. I don't know that it's this one woman or it's a collective of women that he has scorned in his past, because part of those criminal charges he has are for alleged, it's not rape, whatever they want to call it. It is, most of us women would say, yeah, digital penetration is a form of rape. So Those charges is abuse towards women, now allegations of child and sexual abuse that are coming out and leaking out in the process of being, all those things are going to be included in this. So I think it is the feminine energy, the abuse towards women, that will be a large part of him being removed from office, along with other criminality that he's had. So by January, I'm not seeing that. The underlying card of the reading is the Ten of Cups again. Cups representing the Democrats, cups representing we the people, happy families. So once this goes through, we are going to be moving into a much happier space with a change of regiment of who's running our country. Will it be J.D. Vance? Who knows? He may be impeached too. I haven't heard anything about that. We'll watch the news and find out what else is being filed soon. So the other underlying card of the thing is there are going to be Republicans that feel like they're being left out in the cold with this Five of Pentacles. And we have the Page of Pentacles. That's that message that there's going to be change. There's going to be financial changes coming as we move forward into this. Oh, there's that Three of Pentacles. I was wondering if I was going to see that. That Three of Pentacles is telling me he is going to have some health problems during this processing time. I have put it out there on several different people's channel. I think I've even put it out on my own channel. I see him falling in the next 6 to 8 weeks. It's something I've talked about with my colleagues offline. I think I have put it out there, though. I do see him having a major heart problem. I do not see his death. I know a lot of other readers are reading he will die. He's going to die when he has his big health event. I don't see him dying. I see him getting a triple or quadruple bypass surgery, followed by post-operative strokes that is going to take his ability to speak out, and that will force him out of office. And the amount of stress, if you watch just the pictures of taken of him during live broadcasts, he is progressively looking sicker and sicker, weaker and weaker. And his speech is getting more confused, and just, ugh. So he is having a whole series of strokes. You can see it on his face. You can see it when he's napping. His face is drooping on one side. Those are all signature markers of strokes. That's causing some noticeable impacts to his muscular structure in his face. Another person come in the office. But I do see him having a major stroke after, and I do see him having open heart surgery, bypass surgery of some kind. The amount of legal pressure he's on with all the lawsuits, he's got 100-something lawsuits going on right now. He's fighting tooth and nail. Every breath he takes is a lawsuit, and he's losing them left and right and backwards. He has also had several judgments from the Supreme Court where they gave him empirical power of full immunity. They're pulling back on those strings now and giving him less and less immunity while in office, or every time he brings an issue up in regards to his immunity, they're going against him. So they are slowly taking it power by power by power down. And if he objects to this impeachment, the Supreme Court can't come in and tell Congress you cannot impeach. It's just not part of their job, so they will stay separate from that. Roberts will most likely be the one that sits before the impeachment process, because one of the Supreme Court justices, due to the head justice of the Supreme Court that will sit and oversee the Supreme Court, from the Supreme Court will oversee the hearings, but they're not the ones that is in final judgment. They are ones that will make some possible constitutional answers that may come up in question, but they will not make the final judgment in the impeachment. That is done by the Congress and then by the Senate. So, okay. Do you have any questions you want to pose on this topic? I said a quarter after before we switch to personals, or do you want to go ahead and move to 3-card reads for the room?
Oh, I was only going to do the political reading. Is there
Okay,
anything you want to
that's
read on
fine.
that?
So do you have a question you want to throw in?
No, I don't have any unless you have any.
Does anybody have a question in regards to the politics right now going on? It doesn't have to necessarily be about impeachment, just politics in general.
I mean, we
Like,
know it's on
open to it.
the Speaker of the House.
Oh yeah, will Johnson try to block any of this process? How's that?
Okay.
Will Johnson, I'm going to steal that from Libby. Actually, it's Johnson. I think she says it, but the she says. So, will Mike Johnson try to block this process? Try to keep it from going to a vote? I don't think he can when it comes to impeachment, but will he try to block an impeachment process?
If he does, it's not going to go in his favor because I feel like it's going to expose more dirt on him potentially. Because I think he has some skeletons in the closet as well that everybody knows and he doesn't want them to be exposed. But I mean, seriously, I don't see. I mean, people already know about it now, and nothing's happened to him yet, so I don't see why he's so worried about it. But I get the 8 of Swords in reverse, so this is telling me his truth is there's some form of truth that's going to be brought to the light for him that he's going to have to see.
I got it right.
The blindfolds off. He's going to have to see the type of effery he's put out in the control. He's had to put out 45s and etc's plan. Checkmate. There's no way to win. I have the Emperor in reverse, so they're being checked, and there's no checkmated, and there's no escape. He can't prevent it from happening, and I feel as though he's going to be taken down from his position as the Speaker of the House as well. With the King of Pentacles in reverse, his power is going to be null and voided. I feel like this is kind of like a death sentence for him, regardless of how.
That is the next question too. Will they call for his
resignation? I feel like that's going to be what's going to end up happening. And after that, I get Temperance for that. So I feel like for him, it's a cleaning of house kind of thing, and it's what is needed right now.
Okay. I go into this reading with the Emperor. This is Trump, barking the orders to Johnson, who doesn't make decisions for himself. Trump's always telling them what to think, how to act, what to do. Trump's trying to manipulate him into keeping this from moving forward, of course. And of course, he's going to try to get him manipulated into stopping the votes for impeachment to proceed and things like that. It's followed by the 7 of Pentacles. Trump's going around planting the seeds, the threats, whatever he does amongst his party members to keep them in line, to keep them in check, to keep his support So he's going around planting those seeds to get people to side with him. You know, he has feared impeachment all along, and he doesn't want to see this happening. So he's planting those seeds and spreading that. Will he be able to harvest that? We'll see. Back in the center of the reading, you know, he's got a losing battle. He doesn't have a good, strong defense in his thing. He's got that for the foundation of his warrior defense mode. You know, swords being your warrior energy, the ability to fight against things. And 4 being a foundation card. This is telling me in reverse, his foundation is weak. He doesn't have the ability to flip this card right side up in a strong defense. He doesn't have a strong foundation that's going to support any arguments he comes up with. And being the continual liar, psychological liar that he is, that is not going to work in his favor, because he's not going to be able to spin this. The Lover's card, this isn't going to be just about Trump. This is going to be about Trump and people that assisted him along the way in partnerships with him, people that were entangled in this. I think his impeachment is going to lead to more impeachments, more people going down. Little Johnson, of course, cabinet members, other MAGA members that are involved in some of these high crimes and misdemeanors, and some of the different things that he's being charged with. It's going to expose other people to impeachment or loss of positions, and being removed from their seats or from their offices in the process. This could include J.D. Vance having impeachment papers thrown on him under some of the similar charges, depending on if they, you know, what charges are included and his involvement, if they can prove his involvement in any areas of these charges. He may have separate impeachment papers. That's why I think our next question should be, are they going to call Mike Johnson to step down? Of course, as Johnson's trying to get this block in court and stuff, he's going to have to look in the mirror about what he's not seeing, what he's trying to avoid seeing. Is he involved in this? You know, he's been a Trump sycophant. Will he take those orders? Will he try to get this from going to vote? Will the Democrats be able to override it? I'm hearing yes, they will get a vote on this, and they will proceed with impeachment. I think little Johnson's going to have to walk away. He's going to have to walk away from doing Trump's bidding and trying to block us moving forward. This is something that everybody in the collective, and very much so the Democrats, this is the one thing that Trump fears most, is if the Democrats take the House and the Senate, any way he looks at it, he's going to have to face impeachment charges if he loses the House and the Senate. I don't think we're going to have to get all the way to the point of losing the House and the Senate. I think he will lose the House and the Senate, but I think this is going to happen before he loses that. And this is part of the destiny of the world, the direction in which we've been going. So we'll see. Now, one of the things I have discussed amongst my friends and colleagues is the fact that I think if we are looking at successions of JD possible getting impeached and things like that, will they keep Johnson in as Speaker of the House? Because he is the third in line to succession. Now, Johnson is not a leader. He is a follower. He has not made a decision on his own since he's been in Congress, as far as I'm concerned, for entertainment purposes only, and that is my true opinion. He is not what I call leadership. And to tell you the truth, I have been seeing him being removed from that speakership for quite some time, and I think there's going to be a major infighting amongst what Republican thinks he should be placed in that seat, just in case they may be able to be third in succession. I don't know who that would be. Honestly, there's not one of them I think is capable, but who knows? So my question is, will Mike Johnson, and I've always wondered if that may be part of the reason why I've always seen, and other readers have always seen, Hakeem Jeffries being placed as Speaker prior to us taking over the House. And that may just be, well, they can't find a Republican, and somebody needs to do the job to keep the government running. So that may be how he gets there, and that could be another question we could pose if we have time. We are at the 50-minute mark, so I'm going to do a quick reading on, will Mike Johnson get asked to step down from the speakership? Are you going to throw with this or not? You are. This will be our last political question, and then I'm going to stay on and do 3-card readings for everybody in the room. Okay.
What was the question again?
Will Mike Johnson be removed as Speaker of the House?
I thought we just read that.
No, we were reading, will he proceed with the impeachment process? Is he going to try to block it or not? Okay, I already got mine thrown. I'll go ahead and read on it. I come into this reading with the 9 of Wands. Yes, Mike Johnson's got obstacles in his way now, and he's going to have to figure out if there's any way he can get around them. This is a fire energy. He's going to have to do some hard work, try to maintain that position. If they ask him to sit down, he can challenge it, but it's going to be ultimately a vote by Congress to remove him or not. Will the Democrats keep him in that position or not? Knowing that he could possibly be third in line to the presidency, especially if they file impeachment charges against J.D. Vance. Also, don't know. That should be seen. So that's one of the obstacles he's going to face. That's followed by judgment. I do think this is a legal judgment at this point in time. This isn't him rising to a higher position. I think he is totally going to be judged. He's in the process of also being judged for his conduct as a Speaker of the House and what he has represented as a Speaker of the House. Is that going to keep him safe in his seat? Not necessarily. The center of the reading, I get that 9 of Cups. Cups in my political readings are always the Democratic Party. It's the Democratic Party that is going to take charge of this situation. They're the ones that are going to move forward. We are the emotional party that's for the people. And so it is going to be up to the Democratic Party. Do they want to support him staying in there because they may have a better control over the situation, or do they want him removed? So I think it's going to have to do a lot with the political views of the complete the Democratic Party, and who is rumoring and trying to fight for position of the speakership if he is taken down, and do they have a consensus on who they would move into that position? I don't think they do. I think it's going to be just like all the other ones, major infighting of who are they going to place there. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. The decision is going to play out quickly, though. If they do ask him to step down, they're going to move very quickly and try to force a quick vote on to get him replaced as soon as possible. I guess one of the questions I probably should have posed was, is this going to be a Republican moving into the speakership, or will it cause a Democrat to actually be elected into that position? I don't know. But the cards are saying we need to have strength right now as this plays out, that whichever decision they go with to have him removed or not removed we're going to have strength with the decision that's made to see us through this period of time. Could he move into the presidential slot? Hard to say. If they impeach Trump and Vance, would he be eligible? It depends on what the impeachment's based on. If they prove there's an election interference as part of those charges and they're both convicted and impeached on the basis of election interference, would little Mike be part of that process too? Named as part of a co-conspirator in that process? Highly likely. So I think that's going to have to play out. we're going to have to have the strength to see this through. But the underlying card of the reading is the sun shining down on us, which is the best card in the deck. It was followed by the nostalgia card, what our government looked like before. Now, don't expect it to go back to what it was before, because there's going to be a lot of change in government over time. But the Page of Swords is telling us that our government will evolve. It will move forward. We will fight for the things we believe in, for the seats to be filled as they should be through the next elections. And who knows, there might be a lot of people on the ticket for midterm elections, not just the ones that we know are going to change seats, but ones that get entangled in some of these legal problems connected to Trump. Should be interesting. But we have that Page of Swords being the messenger, telling us that we need to stay vigilant. We need to keep the lights on, fight for what we believe in, and keep our stuff knowledgeable with that open book as we move forward into the next legal process of filling seats behind and moving forward in our political parties and what direction that we go to make it through this period of time. So it should be interesting. It's going to be a very interesting time. So we're going to set aside politics now. That was fun. I haven't done political readings in a long time.
You don't want me to read?
What? Oh yeah, go ahead and read.
I'm just gonna say this. When I read to the last one, I felt like he was gonna have to be resigning, and this one is just, I feel like he's gonna have to resign still. Let's just say it's, for what the cards are showing me, it's being orchestrated behind his back. He won't see it coming. He might feel cheated with it, like it was, like he was, like his position was stolen or taken away from him. But then he's gonna get over it really quickly, because in the end, I do have the Six of Cups here. I mean, sorry, the Five of Cups in reverse. So this is telling him to get over it really, really, relatively quickly, because he knows there's still stuff. He doesn't want his mask to come off, to show people what he is really like, because he has a very specific image when it comes to the work he does, and he doesn't want people to know on a personal level. He doesn't want people to know about his skeletons that he keeps tightly hidden. And I've seen several things that are out in the ethers where his cousins will talk about him and stuff like that. So I will just say, what I just saw on the cards, I truly feel like he's not given an option. His days are marked when it is for him being the Speaker of the House. And he's going to probably act like it was taken away from him, and that he was cheated out of something. But then at the same time, he knows he probably doesn't need to. He didn't even earn that position, considering some of the people who've held that seat. He's underqualified to be in that position. But anyhow, I guess I can stay on for a few seconds until Kathy gets back, so I don't just like leave everybody high and dry.
Oh, I have a bunch of happy cats out there. Amazon just delivered a whole box of kitty cat treats. Roger opened the package. You should have seen the mama cat, eyes this wide, just waiting to get a treat. And I told him, feed that poor cat some treats. I said, look at her face, she's just waiting.
Yeah.
He picked them up, and all the cats came running.
Anyway, I will talk to you later.
Thank you
And
for joining me. It was fun. I think I am going to try to jump on Wednesday and pre-record maybe some political. I'll keep an eye on what's going on and make a list of questions, and I guess catch up on the. It gets overwhelming at times. There's so much energy in the air that I go hit and miss on news, as you well know. As we were talking the other day, and you have my touch. I said, "Oh, I'm going to go because I can't handle listening to all the news." Because I've been avoiding.
well, I will talk to you later.
Yeah, we will talk later. Thank you for joining me with the politicals. That was fun. Okay, we are going to do 3-card readings, just general 3-card readings for today. I will check my phone just in case somebody didn't hear me say that. And it's a donation, because if you did donate, I would go ahead and read that for you. Okay. I don't see any current donations for 5-card readings with questions. We will do those tomorrow. So if you want a specific question answered, please join us back tomorrow at 2 Pacific time, 3, 4, 5, whichever time zone you're in. Also, you can join Brenda's Tarot tomorrow at 11 Pacific time, and I believe that is 2 o'clock Eastern time. And you do questions for donations, and then she tries to put as many free readings as she has time for. She has a much larger audience than me right now. And then I do a pickup show at 2 o'clock Pacific time, about an hour after her show. And anybody that didn't get caught in the readings will usually come over for readings from me, or questions. Sometimes I have a lot of the same viewers as her. We're a nice little community, and Brenda is a really good friend of mine. I love her to death. So I do have April. The list is closed because I can't add more people this late into the program. I will be totally wiped out and won't be able to read tomorrow if I do an overkill of over 2 hours online. And we're an hour and 26 minutes into it. So I'll try to keep it as close to 2 hours. I'm going to do fast readings today. If you can believe that. We'll see. See if I can do fast readings today. I do have 8 people on the list. I have Tammy. I have myself, but I don't read for myself. I'll remove myself. And Kelly, I believe Kelly left the room. She just popped in and out really quick. So I have Tammy. I don't never know how to pronounce this. Masilk. Big Scrap Journey. And welcome to the channel. I don't think I've seen you in here before. I have Brenda from Brenda's Tarot, of course. Marby. And I have Maya, 488. I believe Maya has been in the room before. And okay, so I have 6 people on the list because I was on there, and I know Kelly left the room. So if there is somebody else that is in the room and I missed you, let me know real quick. If not, I will. The list is closed. And I think that was everybody in the room. Because I had the chat open and I was adding people as I saw them pop in while I was reading. Because I shift in a different energy when I'm reading. Okay. Yeah, it looks like I got everybody. I was going through the list real quick. Okay. So we will start off our reading with Tammy Bambi. Let's see what energy we are getting for Tammy today. And I am doing well, Tammy. I saw your question earlier. I just didn't get a chance to answer you. Those of you that follow me on a regular basis, I have had a lot of health problems this year. And last week I wasn't feeling really good. No, I'm doing much better this week. Still having a few problems with my pancreatitis, but it has come way down compared to last week. Because I've been watching carefully what I've been eating, so I'm agitating it. sticking with those soft foods and more liquids, and get the meat back out of the diet. So, although I had a chicken sandwich for lunch, it wasn't that. It was one of those, what I call chicken nugget chicken sandwiches, one of those chicken patties that isn't fried. Because I make them in my convection oven. So I don't do fried foods at all. Fried foods in my dinner. You know. So for Tammy, 3 cards. We have a little bit of worry going on this week. 7 of Cups. That is your ability to manifest the direction in which you want to go. So do your manifestation this week, Tammy. You are the Empress, and you have that those lucky elephants. Elephants are always lucky. Lucky elephants as the Empress. That's your connection with your higher power and your connection with the divine energy. Trust in that energy as you move through this period of time right now. You are really wanting things to move from rocky waters to calmer waters with this 6 of Swords. And trust me, those energies are in the process of shifting. Allow time, think of this as also have a little temperance card behind it. Allow time for healing and time for change. But yes, we will be moving into much calmer waters. Right in the center of your reading, you have the Inspiration of Wands. This is the Queen of Wands. This is representing you right now. You need to be, one, take charge of things. Move forward, make decisions, take action. Use creativity as you're doing things and moving through this period of time. This is that creative queen that's bright, intelligent, knowledgeable. She uses all those resources, including her creativity and her knowledge and education and the things she's learned along her path to move forward in life. And this is what you're doing. This represents you, and the energy in which you're walking is that taking action and using all that creative energy and knowledge that you've gained through your lifetime to make decisions and move forward during your current time. You do have the 5 of Swords. You're a little bit worried of how things are going, how things are going to work out. Things are going to work out fine. Rest in the time. I love about this card is, yes, it may be a conflict card, but look, right in the middle of this barren desert is a cup. A cup represents, it's a Pisces energy. It's an energy. Usually when you see a cup, you see a fish hanging out of that cup. It is that emotional energy, that abundance. So despite the despair feeling, you have abundance coming towards you on your side. Trust in that energy, and it will be there for you. Right now, manifest a good fortune. Keep energy positive. Keep your spirit positive, and use your knowledge and creativity to make decisions and move forward in this week. And you'll find that it's going to pay off for you. So blessings to you, Tammy, and I hope that resonates. Yeah. Next up is Silk. Silk, I don't know how to say that. Hopefully I am not slaughtering it to death too badly. I am dyslexic. I have no understanding of phonics, so pronouncing things I don't know and I haven't heard spoken can be very difficult for me, honestly. And I see people, they see all these names they've never seen before out, and they're like, "Yeah, you got it right the first time." I'm going to use Libby's. It's probably my Australian accent I don't have. Probably my American accent that's slaughtering it. Or not, my name is Kathleen. You know how many times my name is mispronounced? You would be surprised. Usually I get Catherine, I get Kathy, I get Kat. UPS guy called me Caitlin. Which I thought was funny. And I looked at to see what the label said, and it said Kathleen. So even a simple name that's I would say is rather common. I can understand Catherine because of the way I spell my name. And I've always got Catherine a lot because there's more Catherines than Kathleen's because it's a biblical name. But yeah, my name gets mispronounced all the time. And then my last name is Stafford, and I get Stanford a lot. Or, like, or Sanford and Sons. When people were born. Okay, your cards. Oh, beautiful. Underlying card is that moon. That's secrets and hidden things in your life. This could be something you're carrying forward, some shadow work you're carrying forward that you're working through, but you will be working through it. It's not keeping you back. You're on your life's path. And memorabilia. This is taking a look at your past and where you started and where you have landed. Remember to do this. It's time always great to assess your past to your present, because that way you can acknowledge all your accomplishments and everything you've overcome during your lifetime. That is part of our life lesson. And that's part of our moving through this life period, is to learn lessons and move forward and rise above. So going into this reading, the first card in your reading is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is telling me you are on your life path. You are working through your planned journey of what you're supposed to be getting out of life at this point in time. So this is a great card to have moving through this period of time. You are moving through the journey in a very positive way. My phone's beeping because my blood sugars are a bit on the high side, but they are coming down now. Okay. Center of the reading, the 10 of Wands. This 10 of Wands is telling me there has been obstacles in your path. We all have obstacles in our path. But the great part about the 10 of Wands is you've taken action. You have found a solution to remove the obstacles from your path. You grabbed that rope, you wrapped it around that rock, and you are pulling it out of your way to clear your obstacles so that you can continue to move forward. And that's a great way, a great card to have, a great symbolism of the 10 of Wands. Instead of being an obstacle that's going to slow you down or stop you, it is an obstacle that's just slowing you down enough to find a solution. You're in a position to find that solution and to move forward. You're the Empress at this time. You have good luck, and you get your lucky elephants bringing you flowers. You are connected with the divine energy with this card. And you are following your guidance and that divine energy. You're living in your higher level. You're meeting the goals in which your life path has been set, and it's allowing you to move forward during this period of time. So I love the cards for you. I hope that resonates, and let us know. Come back tomorrow and we will do more readings. Sunday is slower because I have time to do readings and the 5-card readings, and also read oracles with them. So, and I do love, I love my postcard from Spirit. I haven't found another oracle deck I love as much as these. One of the other favorite ones I have is my surrender cards. So I may mix them up both tomorrow and pull both, depending on how big the room is. So next up we have Big Scrap Journey. Big Scrap Journey. I like that. Yeah. Okay, double card in the center of the reading. Okay. Underlying card of this reading is death. Death is not literal in tarot. Death is the ending of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. It is followed by the embodiments of wands. This is the Queen of Wands in this deck. No, queens are inspiration. Embodiment is the King of Wands. The King of Wands is an act. This is the king that takes action. He's in control. He is decisive. He will take action and move forward as he moves through the journey. And you get the Emperor. Of course, the Emperor supporting the King is that connection. That King is not only taking charge, taking power, but he has strength in the way he does it. And he has a connection with the divine, making decisions, divine guidance as he's moving through that energy. Coming into the reading, we get the Seven of Wands. Got a lot of fire energy, a lot of action energy coming in your reading right now. This is you rising above it all. This is the shark moving up to the surface of the water, going towards the light. It's always anything where you have ascension, you have upward movement, you have forward movement. This is you taking action. One, of course, being that fire energy, that action card. This is rising above it all the obstacles and things that may be coming towards you. You're rising above it and taking a stance of moving forward and empowering yourself. Center of the reading, 2 cards came out. The Inspiration of Cups, that is that abundance energy. The inspiration is the Queen of Cups. This is that nurturing queen, that queen that has abundance in her life. She's a caretaker, a nurturer. She takes care of those around her, and her family, her friends, her associates, those that are in her kingdom. Also, that came out with this card is the Nine of Swords. You are having some sleepless nights as you're nurturing others, getting them through this tough period of times. And it has caused you some sleepless nights trying to figure out how you're going to do that with this Nine of Swords. But you will overcome this obstacle, this little bit of bad dreams at night as you're contemplating a solution with this Queen of Wands. But you will succeed and move forward, and you'll have that abundance that you need to nurture those and take care of those around you, your house, your home, your community. Why? Because you are guided by the Hermit. The Hermit has his guiding light, showing you the path to take, a path to ascension, to the light, to the heavens. So you are being guided through your journey right now as you make this trip through these harder times as we're moving through this energy time. This is a new path forward that you're taking as you move through this period of time. So come back and follow that path through the readings of the next few weeks, and we're going to see which direction your journey takes you. I love these cards. These are very positive cards. You're moving in upward, always upward movement. That means you're moving in ascension, so that you're not getting stuck and pulled down in losses. You may have some struggles along the way, some sleepless nights, how you're going to go about doing it, but you do find a solution, you listen to your guidance, and you take that action. So you're moving in a very positive and enlightened period of time right now. So as those Pisces say, go with the flow. You are in the journey and moving the directions that you're supposed to be moving. Don't let somebody sway you off course. So I didn't get any cards saying anybody would, so should be on track of moving forward in a positive journey at this point. Next up, my fellow Pisces and my fellow reader, Brenda from Brenda's Tarot. Like I said, she will be on tomorrow at 11 o'clock unless she's flagging in the community. I won't be on tomorrow. I didn't check her page. I should have. I always forget. But normally her and Anne are on tomorrow at 11. If not, go ahead and come over onto my channel. She's saying yes, she will be on at 2 Eastern time. So got a confirmation there. That's good. I finally got it right, Brenda? Especially when I give her a big shout out. She's happy to actually cancel their program on the rare occasion that it happens. So, anyways, I love Brenda. She's a fabulous reader. If you need Reiki work or want a reader to do a private reading, Brenda's your gal. She is phenomenal as a reader, and she does phenomenal Reiki work. She does Reiki work for me. It is absolutely wonderful, and it is so helpful. Thank you, Brenda. Blessings to you. Okay, for you, 3 cards. Oh no, not a tower. It's Not that kind of terror for you, Brenda. Underlying card of the reading, Ten of Pentacles, financial security and success. Love it. You've been hanging out with Midas Touch over there, Mr. Midas Touch. You know what I'm talking about. You get the oneness card. This is your divine connection with spirit, with God, with the divine, with your guides, with the archangels. You've got the connection. You are connected, and boy, do I know that. You're also getting guidance from the Hermit card. He's guiding your path on that stairway to heaven, that ascension into enlightenment. So, here's the cards proving, yeah, she's got the touch. She's got the connection. She's a phenomenal reader and very good friend of mine. So I'm never going to have anything bad to say about Brenda. Love her to death. Coming into the reading, though, we get this Tower card. I think this is you watching from above down into the United States. Brenda is in Canada. And down into the United States, with your open heart and your support with all your American friends and associates and loved ones down here watching us go through our tower moment. And of course, this has had a lot of impact on Canada too, because of all these stupid, crazy tariffs. It has hindered them and it has helped their country. It's helped them get wonderful trade agreements, bring businesses forth in their country, as severing a relationship with the Orange Menace, and it has allowed them to find their strength as a nation to be independent and go Canadian first, rather than submit to the power of the United States, manipulating them into to deals. And so I think this has been a wonderful lesson for Canada. Now, I shout out to Canada on this. I grew up on the Canadian border, if you guys don't know this. So I get Canadian. When you live on the border, it's like you're part of Canada and you're part of the United States. And I truly relate to the people there. They're a great, wonderful nation. And I many times said, if Trump gets in office, I'm going to move to Canada. And I actually have ways to get in, but if I go there, I'd want to be there legally. I wouldn't want to be there as an illegal alien. But I have tons of friends in Canada with open doors, and they're glad to have me come and visit. But they're not going to harbor fugitives. But they would be supportive of me if I moved there legally. But I don't see that happen. I do look forward to making a trip to Canada to see Brenda and also to see my good friend Sharon on the West Coast. Okay, the next card of your reading, of course, is that nostalgia card. Brenda, you're like me though. You've always taken the time to look at your past and to give the gratitude to the spirit, to the guides, and to yourself on the hard work and achievements you've had in this lifetime and throughout your future, for the gifts that you've been given, how much you've helped others, how much you've grown as a spiritual being, and all the life lessons you've learned along the way. You've taken the time to acknowledge that, the gratitude for your own accomplishments, as also the guidance from your guides and the divine as you move through this period of life. And that is something we all should be doing. Gratitude towards those above, those that have helped us out there, and gratitude to ourselves for our own accomplishments. You got to remember to give yourself credit for your achievements, because we all feel down at times. And if you can acknowledge yourself for the direction in which you've moved your life and the changes you've made to achieve what you've achieved, it really changes your perspective on tomorrow, especially if we're going through periods of tough time financially and all that. If you can look at your past and see how much you've achieved to this point, you can achieve to the next and get through this time where everything is tight and we're struggling. So that is always really good advice, and it's one that I have to remind myself of too, because I'm struggling just like everybody else. The final card of your reading, Brenda, is the Inspiration of Pentacles. Inspiration, of course, is that Queen of Pentacles. This is you being able to financially take care of those around you. This is your contribution not only to charities, but to your household, to the church, to people you're supportive of. This is also you taking good care of your health and the health of others around you too. Pentacles can be financial as well as health related. So you are that Queen of Pentacles. You have that light on. You know what you're doing. You have the education to move forward positively, move in the right direction, to not only help and support financially and emotionally people in your life, people around you, but people that are in and out of your life. So blessings to you, Brenda. I love you. Look forward to your show tomorrow. And you have a beautiful evening, and send a prayer out for me in church tomorrow. Put me on your prayer list. Just the healing energy. Just in general, healing energy. I'm still healing, but I'm doing good. I keep on going back and forth, but I'm doing good. My last doctor's appointment, we tweaked some of my medications for my pancreatitis, hoping to help. I'm still waiting for refills on some of them. And doing better. Doing a lot better. Thank you for the Reiki, the work that you do for me on my pancreas. It really is helpful. Okay, next up on our list is Marby, and then after Marby we have Maya, and then that will be it for today. Anybody that came into the room late, which I don't think anybody else has come in the room. I didn't see Trim Zone pop in the last minute. He's probably taking his Saturday afternoon nap. So, okay, so those are the last two readings, and looks like I'm going to make that 2-hour mark. Because anything over 2 hours, you guys don't realize how much readers we get hit by exhaustion. It takes a lot of personal, physical energy when we read and we channel spirit. I would like to say it doesn't, but my body says otherwise. And I did once. Early in my online experience, I did a 6-hour marathon show with other people, with a bunch of readers, and it was really intense. It was really fun, but it was really intense. And then after that 6-hour show, which we jumped off and on, and took breaks in between and stuff as we ran the show, which isn't good enough. The next week, I slept almost all week. I was that exhausted. It literally drained the life out of me. And I will tell you, I will never do a marathon show like that again. I may jump in for an hour or two to be part of a marathon, but not 6 hours straight of reading as a big group. No, thank you. It was really fun, but no, thank you. Pop in and maybe pop out, and then pop in a few hours later, maybe. And then we had that particular show, and I'm not going to tell you who I read or what channel I was on. We had a reader that was an energy vampire, which literally was one of those people that you work with. They suck the energy out of all the people around them. They don't join the energy. They just pull the energy from you. It's the weirdest feeling. And that was really hard. And I knew that person was going to be in there, and I had worked with that person one other time. I was just totally drained after working with them. So I put a lot of protection shields up around me before I read with them. And I tried to warn other people, you need to really keep your guard up when you're reading with large group of people, especially if you don't know everybody in the group. Put those protective shields and have your gatekeepers watching over your energy and stuff like that to try to protect you and keep you grounded. And there was a couple people in the group that got really hit by this person's energy. But yeah. Guess it's not hearing you, but that's just some of the stuff that goes on when you're a medium and you're working with a lot of people, have so much psychic energy. You can combine your energy together as a group and really just strengthen yourself, or you can get one person to pull a group down. So, yeah, just sort of like crowds. Huh? Okay, Marby, let's see what you're getting. I love that inspiration of Pentacles, that Queen of Pentacles card coming out. Oh, that tower popped up for you again. This is not your falling down. This is not your tower moment. I think this is a moment of the energy in society around us. We're all feeling like we're in a tower moment with everything politically going on that's affecting every single household of Americans. And even I do believe Marby is in the United States, but if you're not, even if you're in Canada, you are feeling some of these financial impacts, because if we catch a cold in America, the world catches a cold, unfortunately. But this is, you get the death card is another underlying card along with this tower. This death card is not your death. This is the ending of the cycle. You are, you've got a rebirth coming, a new beginning coming in this cycle coming this week. So trust in that. And it is followed by the 10 of Pentacles. Financial security is coming its way. So if you have been financially really struggling, trust in the energy. You are going to have an uptick of financial stability coming your way. Also, the underlying card, and I had to pull this because Spirit is telling me to, you get the life force energy. This is the card that tells you you are connected with the divine, with divine guidance from God, from your higher power, whatever it is you believe in, however, whatever terminology you choose to use. I'm going to say God, the divine being, that oneness. You have that divine energy, but you also need to remember to keep yourself grounded as you're moving forward in this energy. That is why it's a life force. It's from the heavens to the earth. So it's telling you, pull that heavenly energy through you and ground yourself. Keep yourself grounded in this period of time. It is going to keep you stable. Don't allow things to spin out of control. Anytime things seems a little upsetting or a little out of control, get outside, take your shoes and socks off. I don't care how cold it is, or put your feet on the ground in the house. But get contact with the earth or the ground. Ground yourself. That will help you. And then imagine that divine light running through you, through your body and into the ground, allowing that any excess energy to dissipate and get you grounded. Just neutralizing your space, neutralizing your body, and aligning your chakras. And it will allow you to calm down and to move in better positive energy. You don't want to be out here going, what do I do? Ground yourself, get focused. It'll allow you to focus and move in a positive light. So if you haven't learned to ground yet, there are meditation videos doing it. Just do like I said. Imagine that light from above coming through you and through your body and just cleansing your whole body and then pushing it down into the earth. Just imagine that energy flowing out of you into the earth where Mother Earth is absorbing any negative energy. And that will help you ground and get your energy in a positive, energetic field. Sort of like you're conducting electricity. Light up here, you have a grounding wire that keeps you from causing electricity to flow all over the place and spark and shoot out. That's what you're doing. You're using your grounding wires to ground yourself so you're not wild, crazy energy. Okay, first card in the reading is that Seven of Swords. This is your rising above any obstacles, any conflicts that you have in your way, rising above in your strength. You're the leopard in the tree. You've got the highest vantage point. You have that advantage now to rise above it so that you can see what's going on and acknowledge that energy. You're not going to be on attack. There may be people that are underneath you wanting to be an obstacles, but you have risen above that energy to move forward in life. You have the inspiration of Pentacles. This is that inspired queen, that queen with knowledge and strength, the ability to manage money and finances and sickness and health in her family. She uses her knowledge, all that light energy, of course, along with the knowledge, you've got that book, that reference point. You've taken the time to get that education, and it is going to pay off for you in this area by using your knowledge, your strength, and your ability to, one, handle health and also finances. It's going to keep you in a very positive note. You also have the justice card. The justice in this is not you in a lawsuit. This is you finding that balance, that justice you need to move forward in life. The pros and the cons, you're balancing those scales out, both financially, emotionally, everything as you're moving through this period of time. So our finding this balance and it's allowing you to move in a very positive way. So I love these cards for you, Marby. Look forward to seeing what Brenda's reading is for you tomorrow, because I know you will be in the chat. Very rarely do you miss Brenda's show. We both love you to death, so I always love reading her readings and camera readings. Okay. And now, Maya, our final read for the day. I'm going to get shuffled here. For Maya. Okay, the underlying card of the reading is the Hermit card that, as you heard me say all day, Hermit's coming up a lot today. That is that divine guidance from the Hermit. He's lighting your path as you move through ascension into the light. It's a wonderful direction to go. We always want to be ascending, moving upward and forward. That is allowing us to be living and working and being guided through very positive energy and positive growth as we move through this lifetime. Learning the lessons and not finding a lot of obstacles on the way. You get synchronicity. Oh, love this card. Things are just falling in place with you. You and your angel guiding you are just, everything's clicking into place at this point in time. This is something you can trust. Click, click, click. As you move forward, it just falls into place like it's supposed to, in positive energy. And you get the Lovers, the feminine Lovers card. I love this card. This is that feminine energy. I don't see this as a relationship card so much as a relationship with those, either your partner. It's a feminine energy. It's influenced by that feminine learning, that nurturing energy. This is partnerships in your family, in your business, in your relationship with others, peers around you. This is working together in that energy. Also, we move into the energy of the first card in the reading. We get the Two of Cups. This is also that partnership energy. So yeah, you're surrounded both in your underlying cards and in your movement cards in your reading. Is you're working in conjunction with others. Partnerships. This could be your lover, your spouse. This could be a business partner. This could be a close friend or the church. It's some kind of partnership you form that you're working in conjunction with during this period of time to move forward in a very positive light. That's both within your own family and with the surroundings of people that your life touches. Right in the center of the reading, you have the Four of Pentacles. This is telling you to be frugal at this point in time with your money and your resources. This is a squirrel up in a tree, and along with his acorns, he has got his pentacles tucked away for better tomorrow. So use your money frugally. Stock up on the things you need to get through this period of time. Have your resources available to you and your cupboard stocked up, but don't go wild spending money. Keep it frugal. So as you shop, pick up one or two extra cans of this or that, or extra staple, just in case somebody may need your help in your charity. You'll have something to offer them. but also be frugal with your money. Don't overspend. Don't go on a wild spending spree at the same time. So you will be prepared for anything that might come up in the near future as you're moving through this journey. You get the Two of Swords. You got two twos, and the Lovers card, which is also a partnership card. Well, these are all partnership cards, really, because synchronicity is you partnering up with your angels and your guides. The Hermit card is guiding your way, working in partnership in your ascension. So there's sort of a partnership theme going on in here. This is even the Four of Pentacles is a form of a partnership, because this is you up here in the top of the tree with your spouse, your loved one down here at the bottom. You're harvesting those acorns. You're saving those pentacles in the trunk of your tree for the future. You're taking care of each other. So everything's a form of partnership around you. And this Two of Swords is also a partnership. This is your strength. This is your warrior card. This is decision making, the opportunities coming your way. You have the strength of the warrior to step with what you believe in and make those decisions as those opportunity or requests come towards you. You will know what decision to follow by following your heart, following your strength and what you believe in. So lots of interesting cards for you, all partnership type cards. So realize that you're not in this alone. You're in this in partnership with others, both giving and receiving during this period of time. Be open to that. Be open to community, your family, your friends. Keep those relationships positive and moving on high force. We can get through this together in oneness, as this deck is called. That's oneness with the divine, with that beautiful energy moving forward in the positive way of life. Like I said, I will be back on tomorrow at 2 o'clock. We'll be doing oracle readings, as well as personal readings. I will be accepting the $5 donation for questions tomorrow. And then we will also be doing the free card readings. I'll probably try to combine postcards from heavens along with my surrender cards tomorrow, depending on how big the room is and how much time we have and how many personal readings we're doing. Of course, personal readings will be personal readings with $5 donation for specific questions. We'll prioritize, and then all of the readings, the 3-card readings, will follow that as time permitting. I do a 2-hour program, which we are at the 2:08 mark. So I want to wish everybody a beautiful evening. It's actually still light out here. It's not quite dark yet. I'm in California, so it's 4 o'clock here. We get dark in about a half an hour to 45 minutes from now. It will start being dark. We are having a 1-week storm here in California, 100% rain in the forecast for the next couple of days, and it drops down to 70 and 80. Our temperature has dropped into the 50s and 60s now, which is cold for California. The rain is coming from the Pacific, so it's cold rain and wind and some lightning and thunderstorms. We've had hurricane warnings, and yes, California does get hurricanes. But it's not the twisters that you see in Oklahoma, Texas, and through the tornado belt. This is what I'm talking about: hurricanes, tornadoes. We have had tornado warnings. Most of ours are smaller ones, and a lot of times we'll see the funnel clouds, but they don't always touch down. And when they do, they usually hit farmland and bounce up again, and they don't tear miles and miles of fields away. Thank God, because I live in earthquake country. And, people that are from tornado country, they go, oh, I would never want to live where there's earthquakes. People in earthquake country are like, earthquakes only last a minute or two and it's over. The earth isn't splitting open and gobbling us. It's not like the tornadoes where they rip through and they tear your house up and suck it up in a funnel cloud. So, anyways, that's the philosophies from the 2 area. My mom grew up in tornado country and then moved there. And she said for years that she was afraid of earthquakes till she lived here, and she'd much rather live through an earthquake than a tornado, which she grew up with. Locking yourself in fruit cellars as the wind plows through your tin. So I don't know, 50-50, half of us to another. We don't want those terrible earth events to hit us. Anyways, I will be on tomorrow at 2. I look forward to the readings. You guys have a nice evening. Hope to see you in Brenda's room tomorrow for readings. I do channel in the background with her consent. So when I pick up messages through my guides, I won't throw cards while they're throwing cards, but I will channel information. So as I get them, I'll type them in. And it's really funny because I usually type them in, then Brenda and Ann both match up. And it's not because I usually push it right as they're reading their cards. So it's really funny. It's quite validating too. So I enjoy doing that. And they're both beautiful readers. So join Brenda's Tarot tomorrow at 11 Pacific, 2 Eastern. And then I will 2 o'clock Pacific, 5 o'clock Eastern. Have a good evening and have a beautiful tomorrow.